We appreciate everyone for joining us for this monthly safety meeting. We hope all the drivers are doing well, physically, mentally, emotionally, and ready to start another work week. I'm sure some have already started their runs probably, but the rest of us, we hope everything goes well. We're gonna talk about 3 different topics this morning and show a few videos, give some updates for FedEx and then Lugmo as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll talk about entering and exiting ramps, rush hour and heavy traffic, especially in a lot of the big cities and surrounding areas, and complacency, which is probably a very, very important topic. It's always something to keep in mind as you go through your career, as you get older, you gain more and more experience. Complacency is one of the things that has to be evaluated, be aware of, and making sure that we don't have pitfalls that cause us to do things that we normally wouldn't do. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, Dave, for being on the call with us again. We appreciate it, and we'll get it kicked off here.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to talk about entering and exiting on ramps. There's always the question, what do I do? Do I speed up? Do I slow down? How do I get through this without causing an accident? Well, that's a question that's always going to be in your mind while you're driving through an exit entrance. It all depends on the circumstances. It depends on whether you have somebody that's cut you off. You're going to have somebody that is just being slow on the road or afraid to get on or afraid to accelerate, or somebody who's going to fall in behind you. This is it's a constant evaluation. You need to be thinking, what am I going to do? And it all depends on the circumstances. So you got to be alert, especially on ramps and exits, entrances and exits, because as you know, we don't know what these civilian drivers know what to do. And a lot of them have no idea what to do. Okay. Rush hour traffic, heavy traffic. What's the best practices? The best practices is give yourself plenty of room. Don't tailgate. And if someone cuts you off, pulls in front of you, give them that space. Just let it go. Rush hour traffic accidents almost always slow motion. If you've gone on the road, you'll see it's rear-ending. That's the number one issue. It's because people are anxious and want to get moving when it's not possible. So give yourself plenty of room and not tailgate when you're on that road. I'm going to ask everybody to do something now that just follow along with me. All right? I want you to stop breathing for 5 seconds. Now take a breath. Okay, now stop breathing for 5 seconds. Take a breath. Okay, now breathe normally. Now, what I've asked you to do is to be conscious of your breathing, to be aware. By doing what I asked you to do, you now have to pay attention to what your breathing is all about. But most of the time, you don't pay attention to your breathing because it's automatic. You don't think about it unless you're working out or doing something. You're conscious of the fact that, wow, I'm breathing really hard. But most of the time, you're not paying attention to it. The same thing happens when you're driving. You can get to the point where you are driving done it so many times and done it so often that you're not thinking about it. It's just automatic. And that's where you have a problem. I've talked to you guys before about the people who have accidents, and the accident that is most common, it's at 50, in terms of complacency, is at 5 years and at 15 years. 5-year drivers think they know it all, and they've done it and they've got, okay, I got this, no big deal. I don't have to pay attention. 15-year drivers have been doing it so long, it's like breathing to them. They don't think about it at all. But you have to be aware all the time. I just read an article again. They've convicted the family or two members of a family in Louisiana that have been staging truck accidents. They gained about $1.2 million in accidents staged with trucking companies. What they do is they'll put a car in front of the truck, and then they'll have another car pull in front of that car and brake. Swoop and swap. And then you wind up tailgating, you wind up hitting the car that's in front of you, not realizing that it's the car in front of them that has caused that accident. These are being staged. And they caught this gang in Louisiana, and they've been convicted recently. So that's why you have to pay attention, because you don't know whether somebody else is going to stage an accident in front of you. Always be aware. Okay. Do I have any questions?
No, not really.
Okay. Stay alert. Stay alive.
That's a perfect slogan there. Stay alert and stay alive. I like that. Let me switch over here. This is the video in regards to police or highway patrol, depending on the state, are teaming up with truck drivers to try and locate or see bad behaviors out there on the roads, and their initiative to try to catch cars and stuff as well. But some things to be aware of out there while you're driving.
Anyone in the Indiana area tomorrow, be careful. And the reason why I say that is because the Indiana State Police, they're going to be running an event where they hop into a ghost truck and they're trying to find motor vehicles that are driving recklessly around motor vehicles. But here's the thing, they showed a vehicle, they showed a video of this last year, and it's supposed to be to catch four-wheelers, but then they stopped over a semi-truck.
An Indiana State Trooper on the passenger side of this semi-tractor trailer, and that's going to give us a different vantage point. He's going to be calling out violations to other troopers. You know, it's quite simple. Our goal is to target and find aggressive drivers on area interstates, specifically drivers who are driving aggressively around semi-tractor trailers. We know when semi-trucks crash, people often get hurt. But the crash isn't always the fault of the semi-truck driver, and so we're trying to find those cars that are cutting it too close.
There are a lot of erratic lane changes. With all the construction stuff, there's a lot of stoppage, and you'll run up on some stoppage real quick, and if you don't pay attention, you're going to get yourself in trouble real quick.
Tractor, he's falling too close on that other truck. Call it violator number 3. Commercial motor vehicle container, Maersk, with a yellow tractor. Looks like he may go west now on Sam Jones. Little silver car, do not have a plate. Okay, black 42. Looks like it might have been a 1060.
This driver was called out by our shadow vehicle or our chase vehicle there as first off speeding, 68 to 55. Second thing was kind of not maintaining the lane properly, and then possibly be on a cell phone. The driver did admit to eating while driving, so that could also be a leading factor of distracted driving.
So I'm just letting you guys know, no hate, no shame. You are in the Indiana area around Indianapolis, Sellersburg, or the Pendleton district, just be careful, because they're going to have state troopers and state police inside semi-trucks watching the surroundings. Sorry.
That's an interesting one. I'm not sure when that video was posted or when that particular initiative was taking place. But it's definitely something good to keep you on your toes as you're out there. You don't know who's watching. It's something that we talk to the van drivers about, is that we tell them when they're out delivering and doing pickups, at the local areas, at small businesses and residential areas, that everyone has cameras now at their houses. And the key thing is someone's always watching. So your behaviors and your driving behaviors, how you carry yourself outside of the truck, or when you're at the station, you're interacting with FedEx or their employees. Someone's always watching and someone's potentially always recording. And it feels that, and especially in this society, everyone's looking for that gotcha moment, especially with the big brand on the side of the vehicles. So always be mindful that, whether now with an initiative like this, that Highway Patrol could be watching, riding along in trucks, trying to set people up to a certain extent, or find people that are breaking the law, and looking at those behaviors, that this can happen to anybody. And it goes back to the complacency side of it, like David was mentioning, where they're trying to catch people that are really complacent and doing erratic things out there on the road. So be mindful of that when you're out there. Here's another one.
Crew 159, a day sweeping crew from NDOT's District 1, have the unique opportunity to have a badge on board. This first of its kind enforcement was conducted by the Nevada Highway Patrol to enforce the move over law around DOT vehicles.
What's going on with the truckers? So I needed to put this video up right away, because just like Indiana, where state patrol is in trucks.
It's quite simple. Our goal is to target and find aggressive drivers on area interstate.
Today, Highway Patrol in Nevada are going to be in trucks, and they're not going to be in any type of truck. They're actually going to be in Penske trucks. Now, every year the FMCSA grants Nevada Highway Patrol over $200,000 to fund this project. And what this project is for is to help against motor vehicles that are driving unsafe around truck drivers. Now, they said the last time they did this, they ticketed over 100 cars and trucks.
Several violations, including the move over law, distracted driving, speeding, the lack of seatbelt usage, and unsafe lane changes. Over the 2 days, NHP educated over 100 motorists with citations.
So Nevada seems to be on our side with this. Let me know what you guys think, but I just want to let you guys know, if you guys are in Nevada, Reno, Las Vegas area, and there's a Penske semi truck, there's a great chance there's a Highway Patrol person in it. So just be careful, drive like you usually drive, and let me know, comments down below, if you support something like this. And they say it's for us truck drivers. They say it's to ticket people that are driving unsafe around commercial truck drivers. But what are your thoughts about this? And let me know in the comments down below. You guys have a great day. And this is going on today, currently, right now, till tomorrow. All right.
And last one.
Lena Pringle joins us again to explain why really this is the perfect time of year to bring this awareness to the forefront.
Melanie and Bruce, good morning. While some will listen to the CDC and avoid travel over the holidays, millions of people are still expected to hit the roads. And the busiest travel days for the year are fast approaching. The Florida Department of Transportation is pumping the brakes on large trucks traveling in the left lane of a highway with a new safety awareness campaign. Why is it unsafe for these large trucks to travel in the left lane?
Truck lane restrictions are all about safety. And, there are several studies that show that reducing the amount of weaving, the amount of lane switching prevents crashes on the interstate. Like I said earlier, there are studies that show that reducing this kind of behavior can lead to less crashes. Lane changing is one of the primary causes of collisions on the interstate.
Why is it important to raise awareness around this issue during this time of year?
I think, this is an important conversation to have year round. But primarily this time of year, especially the next 2 weeks, are some of the busiest times on our roadways. More people are traveling for Christmas and for New Year's.
AAA estimates 81 million people will travel by car this holiday season. With that many people hitting the roads, it is important to remember that traditionally, the left lane is used for passing. If a truck driver is caught traveling in this lane, they will be fined a minimum of $121.
Restricting trucks to certain lanes, this improves the safety of motorists, but doesn't really impede the efficiency of traffic.
The Florida Highway Patrol will be working with FDOT to make sure truck drivers are following the rules. As the roads get busier, FHP and FDOT are encouraging all drivers to follow the posted speed limits and don't drive distracted. In the studio, Lena Pringle, Channel 4, the local station.
All right, that's the end of the videos. Xenia, did you have any updates you wanted to go over?
Hi, Aaron.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're echoing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's just an echo.
Oh, I'm using Wilhelm's phone today, so I'm sorry. For the updates, we talked a little bit about it last meeting about the dock. Whenever you guys need to move a trailer out of the dock, remember you cannot do so without the approval. Like, you go there, you need to have a visual inspection, the door is closed. If you cannot have that visual inspection, you need to call line haul and they need to give you the approval. They are saying that clients like Walmart, Target, Dollar Tree, if you don't have that visual inspection and you don't find anybody in the area, you need to call line haul and have the approval. If they don't find no one either, then they will let you know bobtail. They will let you go bobtail, okay? But do not move a trailer if you're not 100% sure, okay? Because that will be a disqualification. It's considered a disconnection, okay? The other one is that FedEx is saying that this is a National Security Month and they are enforcing a lot the use of the badge. They want to see the badge from the waist up, okay? So if you have any issue with your badge, let us know, okay? Okay, because you will need it. And there will be a couple changes for those of you who use the gate, the security gate with your car in Ocala. There are a couple changes that are coming and we will keep you posted so you're aware of what is coming. Vector is the other area that we're using and we're encountering a couple of issues at time. Make sure your information is accurate. Make sure the tractor is accurate when they give you the dispatch. If there's anything that we need to change, you guys have to do so before you leave line haul, okay? Because then the settlement will be all crazy. The other area that we reviewed the first part last time about we defined preventable accident last time. Now, what we're doing is in those pictures that are in the agenda, they are saying situations that are gonna count that are included in the vehicle accident that are gonna count. It's a US recordable, okay? And impact the US DOT number. They are saying, and you can look at the details carefully on your own, but basically it's if you cause any property damage, objects falling or liquids leaking. Okay, so when you guys get the trailer, make sure the door is very close, they have the seal. If not, let us know. If that door is open and the cargo falls on the road, then it's gonna be recordable. If it cut the, okay? Then shifting or falling cargo, roll away. Swing doors, if your door open, then there's a problem. Railroad track. The railroad track, be careful with the railroad track, okay? If you hit an animal, okay? They are saying here in the guide, if you hit an animal and that causes that you hit other cars and you provoke an accident, they are saying it's US DOT recordable, okay? There's a definition exactly. I know that will cause a lot of questions. Aaron, feel free to jump in if you know the rule very well, or David, because they are saying here, unless the property damage, injury, or death, it's confined to the injury or death of the animal, a collision between a fleet motor vehicle and the animal that result in property damage. Injury or death is a fleet motor vehicle accident. So if we're not clear on that, somebody got questions, please let me know. We can research about it and clarify. That's the purpose of these meetings, okay? Then establish intent to commit suicide and evasive action. Read the definitions carefully. This is taken from the guide that the nation used. This is not a FedEx thing. This is how accidents are ruled, okay? So if we have questions, we're here to learn. Let us know, and then between Aaron, David, and I, we can clarify in the process. Any question?
Yeah, I'd like to get more info on that animal.
Yeah, hey Aaron, this is with him. Can I get more info about that animal accident on it?
Dave, you want to clarify preventability, how preventability is determined if a driver hits an animal?
There is none. Preventability is if it's a, let's say, depends on the animal. If you've got to run across the road, or something like that does that, then that's not preventable. But if it's a cow, then it's the same, or something, a moose in Canada. But if it's a cow or a horse, then that's preventable, because you're supposed to be able to see that animal's there and to avoid it, just like you would if someone was stopped suddenly on the highway. Okay, but the animals that are quick, like in Colorado, the sheep, the longhorn sheep, coyotes, lynx, cats, anything like that, anything that can dart across the road, that's not preventable.
And also assuming that you don't hit any other like property or trucks too, right?
Yeah.
It's just the animal.
Yes, I was gonna say always hit kill Bambi. Don't if Bambi's in the middle of the road, Bambi's dead. Simple as that. Don't try to avoid or swerve. You can cause a rollover, the back trailer, or you can cause someone else to try to avoid you and cause them to have an accident. So the deer is not important.
Good question. Any others?
You want to say?
So you said if it's like a cow or a horse, we can prevent it. What if the cow or the horse happens to run across the street? Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, it's the size of the animal. If it's a big animal, then you need to be able to avoid it. Even if it's on the side of the road, then you need to slow down in case it does decide to cross the road. That's what I've seen and happened. I probably have to research and see if it's changed since then, but this is what was going on some 20, 25 years ago.
My question is, you said if it's on the side of the road, fine, you see it. What about if she jumps out in front of you out of nowhere?
Well, do you have a camera in your truck?
Yes, we do.
If you have a camera in your truck and you can prove that it was dumped out, and then fine. Then you're covered. It's the same. I had a driver a long time ago hit someone walking on the highway in Gallup, New Mexico, and it was nighttime, and they were walking, and they, according to the police, turned out to be an alcoholic, but he wandered across the highway and got hit and was killed. And during the investigation, they determined that it was preventable. And I'm sorry, not preventable, because it was night. He was wearing dark clothes. He was an alcoholic. So, but if you have cameras in your truck, then don't forget to hit the event. Or if you suddenly brake, the event's going to be recorded.
Thank you so much for clarifying the questions. We have no more questions for you.
All right, everyone. We thank you for your time and your participation. We'll talk next month. Everyone be safe out there.